Every Diwali, somebody in your WhatsApp group will send a photo of a mithai box saying sugar free. Technically true, partially misleading. And today we're reading the fine print that nobody reads. And the honest answer is most interesting than the actual scam that you're expecting to find out. It generally depends on that one specific word that is printed on the back of the box in tiny letters. And here's the legal definition, and it's the whole story in one sentence. Under both India and international, a product can be labeled as sugar free as long as it has less or equal to zero point 0.5 grams of sugar per serving. That's it. That's the entire bar. Notice what the definition does not say anything about: calories, total carbohydrates, or how your blood sugar levels actually react after eating. Sweet can technically or legally be actually sugar free and can still spike up your sugar levels. The label is honest about one narrow ingredient, but it says nothing about the actual outcome that you care about. Now, before this becomes a takedown video, some sweeteners are actually doing their job. Stevia and monk fruit have actually a glycemic index which is close to zero, meaning that they actually don't spike up your glucose the way actual sugar does. Actually, clinical study backing this up. In one research, people with diabetes ate dark chocolate sweetened with stevia, erythritol instead of sugar. And their blood glucose responses after 2 hours, that too very low as compared to eating a dark chocolate made with actual sugar. Not slightly better, meaningfully better. So if your sugar-free mithai says stevia or erythritol on the box of it, that part of the promise is actually honest, backed up by actual research, not just marketing. Here's when it gets murky, and where a lot of sugar-free Indian sweets are cutting corners. A large number of Indian sweets don't use stevia or erythritol at all. They use maltitol, a cheaper sugar alcohol that is actually significantly less effective at avoiding blood sugar level and has well-known side effects that nobody puts on the box. It causes bloating, digestive issues because most of it passes undigested in your intestines. Here's the second trick: using a completely different label entirely. No added sugar. That means they can use jaggery. Jaggery markets itself as wholesome and as in sugar alternative, but its glycemic index is actually 84, which is essentially closer to the actual sugar and the effects that it has on your body. Natural and doesn't spike your sugar levels are actually two completely different terms having completely different effect on your body. So the honest verdict of is it a scam comes down to one word: stevia or erythritol are actually effective, while jaggery and maltitol, wearing the health halo, not much different from sugar, sometimes worse in terms of bloating. Here's a genuinely surprising wrinkle. Even for the legitimately good sweeteners, your body has what's called a cephalic response. The moment your tongue detects sweet, your body starts prepping for insulin no matter what the sweetener is, purely because of the taste way before the digestion has started. Which means that a perfectly engineered zero glycemic index sugar substitute can still trigger that body sugar incoming response. It is a small effect. The magnitude is not as similar to eating actual sugar. That's why the doctors also suggest that sugar-free sweets should also be moderated, not eating in unlimited amounts. There's also a 2023 study published in a respectable medical journal linked higher erythritol levels with risk of blood clots, heart attack, and stroke. A finding that actually scared the low-carb or diabetic community. That's why it is suggested that even the substitute should be regulated and not consumed with zero limits, even though it remains far, far, far better than sugar. Here's why this label matters more in India than anywhere else in the world. The reason why sugar-free mithai has exploded in India because 1 out of 4 people are either pre-diagnosed with pre-diabetes or actual diabetes. It is an increasingly mainstream category for 1/4 of the population of sweet eating people, which raises the stake on getting the label right. A maltitol sugar-free laddu handed to your genuinely diabetic grandfather under the assumption that sugar-free actually means sugar level safe isn't a harmless marketing fib. It's a real label gap that can actually have a physical consequence. or the one person in the room who's actually relying on it. Here's the reality check, only worth remembering from this video. Flip the box and find the ingredients. Ignore every single thing on the front of the box. Free, friendly, diabetics, guilt-free, all of this is marketing. Look for the actual sweetener name. The moral of the story is look for the actual sweetener's name. Thank you so much guys for watching this video. Till then, take care. Goodbye. Love you.